Hello trader, welcome back to Deep Pockets Forex. We'll be giving you our weekly Forex forecast. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button to get our weekly updates. Also, if you find our content helpful, make sure you drop the like and you drop a comment on the comment section. GBPJPY. For GBPJPY, we focused at a big down move here to reach this point. And as you can see, the market has given 600 pips down from this point here all the way up to this point. That's over 600 pips, and this next week we are expecting a pullback up to this point here, a pullback up to this point, and this pullback might be in a form of a corrective structure then continue down, or it may be just in a form of a sharp movement like this then continue down. So if you are currently holding this sell from this point, just be careful on this pullback here, because we're expecting a pullback. Be careful. And then if you wanted to trade this down move but you didn't manage to get an entry, this is a good opportunity to get an entry from this point if we get a pullback or a corrective structure up to this point. So just be on the lookout for that, so that if we get a good correction or a good pullback, you can be able to trade this all the way to this point here. That's the GBPJPY. Our bias is still down all the way up to this point, even if we might get a pullback, but our bias is still down because the overall structure shows a big down move is expected all the way up to this point here on GBPJPY. We have GBPUSD on this chart. From this point on GBPUSD, we focus at a down move. We see that we're expecting a movement that would reach up to around this area, which is going to slightly break this previous low here. And as you can see, we moved over 550 pips. The chart is given over 550 pips. So from this point here, we got a pullback. Next, we are looking forward to getting a corrective structure here, just a small corrective structure, then up. So from this up move here, this is where there will be a big movement down expected. After we get this impulse move back, we'll be looking forward for a down move like that. If you'd have loved to trade this big movement here, and you didn't manage to get an entry, just wait, because we're expecting this corrective structure and an up move. Then from this moment, we can be getting a down move. There's also a possibility that we might get a sharp movement like that, without a corrective structure here. We just get a sharp movement like that, a pullback like that up to this point, then we can be getting a down move to up to this point here. So if we get a corrective structure here, or we get an impulse move, just be on the lookout around this area that we might be getting a reversal here. If you get your entry strategy confirming this sell from this area, you can go for the down move all the way up to this point. Now our bias for GBPUSD is only a down move. Even if we can get a big move like that to reach this area, this is not a down move we'll be interested in trading, because there's a higher likely chance to push down than up, and if a down move comes, it's gonna be bigger than an up move if it comes. So our bias is only a sell all the way down to this area here. Any up move, we'll just ignore it, then only take sell setups. We have GBPCAD on this chart. For GBPCAD, as you can see, this past week we got a movement like that. This next week we're expecting to get a corrective structure here like this, then we get an up move to slightly break this previous high here. An up move like that it's going to slightly break this previous high. Then from this area here, we'll be looking forward for a down move like that. And this down move, there's a likely chance that it might break this previous low here. There's a likely chance it might break this previous low. So after this corrective structure, we wait for this impulse move, then trade the down move. Or if you know how to trade this up move, you can always go for this up move if you know how to trade it. This sideways move is just a corrective structure with not much pips, so you can just wait for it to complete, then take the buy all the way up to this point. Also, this up move is also small, but this down move here is going to be much bigger than both this down move and this up move, so you might as well just wait for this big down move here, then take it to break this previous low. That's GBPCAD. From now, we're likely to just move like this, then the bigger down move will be expected later after all this is completed, so you can just wait for this. This is GBPCHF. GBPCHF And you remember from this point we focused a down movement that moved down like this, respected our forecast, and as you can see it moved 500 pips. This down movement is a 500 pips move from here to here. It's a 500 pips move, and as you can see it went exactly as we forecasted. This past week we see that we're expecting a corrective structure like that, and as you can see we got this up move like this. Next week we are looking for a corrective structure, then up. Then from here, after slightly breaking this previous high here, we'll be looking for a down move. That's a down move we'll be looking for to trading. So whatever is happening here, it's just a corrective structure. You can just wait for that, then catch the sell later. If the sell is ready, we'll be selling all the way down to this area here. That's a down movement we'll be taking on GBPCHF. And from this point here, we'll be looking for a bigger up move to reach this area here. That's an up move we'll be looking for too. And this up move will break this previous from here, and it will break this previous all the way up, heading all the way up. As you can see, as this arrow is showing, we'll be heading all the way up to this point. That's GBPCHF. From this point here, any up move continue like that, we'll simply ignore it because we're not expecting any up move heading all the way up. You should trade what you're expecting. So from here, we're only expecting a correction. We won't be trading that. We'll only wait for it to confirm our sell. Then from here, we take the buy. Here we take the sell. If we get our entry confirmed, we'll be taking the sell. Then if we get our entry confirmed, we'll be taking the buy. USDJPY. For USDJPY, we've been saying we're looking for an up move here. But remember, this past weeks we say that there's still a possibility we might head down. Then after we head down, we'll be looking for an entry up. And as you can see, USDJPY is given an impulse down like that. This next week, there's a possibility that we might get a corrective structure like that, then a down move to reach this point. It's a possibility that we might get a corrective structure, then a down move up to this point. So you might as well wait for this corrective structure to complete, then you wait for this pullback to complete. Then after this level here is reached, this is where we can be looking for our entries to buy all the way up to this point. So if you confirm your buy from this area here, you can go up with this pair all the way up to this point here. Any down move for us, we won't be trading it. We're only looking for a buy opportunity. Our bias is only buy. Any down move, we'll ignore it and use it to confirm our buy from this point here all the way up to this point. That's USDJPY. We're only looking forward for buy opportunities. This is EURGBP. For EURGBP, if you've been following our channel, you know that this impulse move was forecasted here. This impulse move was forecasted, and we see that if this impulse move completes, we'll be looking forward for a big sell from here. A big sell. That's what we said. And now from this point also, we are releasing an update now that from this point we are expecting a corrective structure like this. If we get this corrective structure, there's an expected down move that's expected as well. The down move is promising to slightly break this previous low. That's what structure is showing. The down move is promising to slightly break this previous low here up to this level here. Then from this level here, we'll be looking for a bigger up move. The up move would break this previous high and it will break this previous high. That's what structure is showing. Then later we might be getting a bigger sell, which we'll be updating you on in the next few weeks. But for now, just know that we're expecting a corrective structure here, then a down move. Then from here we might pivot all the way up. USDCHF. For USDCHF, we've been talking about a big up move from this point. We've been saying we're looking for a big up move all the way up to this area. And as you can see, we're already getting an up move here. Now price is currently in a corrective structure. This next week there's a possibility to head up, and if you know how to trade this setup, there's a setup you can look for an entry. If you confirm your entry, you can trade it all the way up to this point. This is GBPAUD. For GBPAUD, price is showing a corrective structure here. Then next we are looking for a down move that would slightly break this previous low. After we get this down move, there will be a bigger up move that's expected. A bigger up move that's expected all the way up to this point, as this arrow illustrates. So for now, if you're looking for trading the bigger up move, because it's the bigger move that you'd want to trade, there's just this small down move. You can just ignore it for now, then later we can update you on how far the up move is. But right now it's not yet ready, but whenever it's ready, we'll keep updating you on a weekly basis. So just wait for this down move, then later we can catch this up move together on GBPAUD. This chart shows USDCHF. Now for USDCHF, this past weeks we've been talking about a down move. We've been talking about a down move like this, but right now what structure is showing that we might push up to slightly break this previous high. After we break this previous high, we might be getting a down move that will break this previous low and hopefully just pivot around this area at this previous low here. From this point, we might be looking for an up move all the way up like that. So you might just wait for whatever is happening here to happen, then later we can update on this bigger up move if it's ready. And if it's ready, we'll be giving you an update so that you can catch it. If you confirm your entry, you can catch it with us. That's USDCHF. If we get our confirmation strategy confirming this bigger buy here, we'll be going with the buy. But for this up move, this down move, we'll just set that aside for now and wait for this bigger up move here. That's USDCHF. We have NZDUSD on this chart, and NZDUSD is showing a down move like that, showing a down move. This next week, if we confirm this sell, we can be trading this sell all the way up to this point. This is a setup that is promising over 300 pips, and if we catch this entry, we'll be trading it all the way down. That's NZDUSD. We're only looking forward for a down move. If it continues up from here, we will ignore it. We'll only trade this setup if we confirm our entry. If you would like to trade this setup but you don't know how to trade it, it's not wise to just jump into it. You should be able to trade what you are familiar with, what your strategy can give you entries on. That's what you should be trading. But if you cannot trade this, if you don't know how to sell this trade, you just ignore it and focus on other setups. We have GBPNZD on this chart. Now GBPNZD has a possibility to correct like that, then from this point there might be a down move like that, which is slightly gonna break this previous low. Then from here we can tell you what's next. So you can either wait for this corrective structure to complete, or if you know how to trade it, you can go for it. But for us, we might just wait for this to complete, then look for an entry here, then sell this down move. Then if we focused from this point, an up move or continuation will respond accordingly. If we manage to get a sell from this point and price continues like that, then from here we focused an up move, we can be exiting from this point. Or if we get this down move, then from this point we read structure, and structure still shows us that we're gonna get more down, we can be holding that. But right now we see a corrective structure here, then a down move. So if you'd like to trade this, you can go for it. Then if you'd like to trade this, you can go for it. This chart shows EURUSD. EURUSD, just as we said this previous week, that there's a down move expected here to reach this point. There's an expected down move to slightly break this previous low, then we get an up move like that. So right now not much is happening here. Price is just moving sideways. But after we get this impulse move that's slightly gonna break this previous high here, after we get this up move, this is where from here now we'll be looking forward for a down move, and we'll focus on this down move. Right now we can just ignore this and just focus on setups that are giving movements, good movements. Then later we can catch this bigger sell. That's EURUSD. We're expecting this sell here, and that's the only sell we'll be focusing on. Whatever is happening here, we'll just be ignoring that. EURAUD. So this is a chart on EURAUD that we're expecting a big up move like that. We're expecting a big up move, but it looks like price might head up like this to slightly break this previous high here. Head up, then from this point here we might get a down move, and the down move would slightly break this previous low here. We might get an up move up to this point, slightly breaking this previous high. Then from here we might get a down move which is going to slightly break this previous low. Then from here we'll be looking forward for an up move like that, an up move like that. It's gonna be a big up move. From here our bias is up. If price decides to continue down, all the way down, we won't be taking it, we'll simply ignore it. But when our buy is ready, we'll be taking it. We'll be on the lookout for this big buy because it's gonna be a big buy. And keep in mind that usually when we're expecting a big movement like this, like we covered on this previous videos, when we're expecting a big up move does not happen until it takes as much traders as possible out. So it might take as much traders out, and then when a lot of traders have given up on the big up move, now this is when the big up move would move like that, leaving many traders. So just be on the lookout for this bigger buy after we get this down move here. That's EURAUD. Lastly, we have EURNZD. EURNZD, from this point we are focusing an up move like this, which is slightly gonna break this previous high. That's what we are seeing on EURNZD. After we get this impulse move from this point here, we'll be looking for a down move like that. If you know how to trade this up move here, you can go for it. This up move is slightly more than 250 pips. You can trade this if you like all the way up to this point. You can trade it. Then from here you can trade this down move here, which is around 600 pips all the way down to this point. That's EURNZD. Right now from here our bias is up, then from here our bias is down. If here we get continuation down, this is a setup we'll ignore because we are not expecting a down move here, we're only expecting an up move. And from here, if we get this up move like this, then here we get this price continuing up, we'll ignore this setup because anywhere from here there's an expected what? Down move. We will be assessing price and we'll be giving you updates on a weekly basis concerning this setup here, because it might take a while. It might take a while to reach this point, and this setup here we might have to give you an update if this setup is still valid. Price can simply move up like this, then from here price shows a different structure which shows more up, and if we get a structure that shows more up, we'll be giving you an update on that. Right now what to keep in mind is that we're expecting an up move like this up to this point, and from here already what we can read from structure, it shows that from here we'll be getting a down move like this all the way up to this point. That's what structure is showing on EURNZD.